Hello there, good people of the world. Welcome to another video and stream. Tonight I am doing something entirely different. We're not going to fly for the BushDivers. We're not going to fly for anybody except for ourselves. And a couple of days ago, I bought the new Britten-Norman Islander BN2 from Blackbox Simulations, and I didn't really have a lot of opportunity yet to try that one out. I tried to fly it during the last Pacific Edge tour, but unfortunately I have not been able to really get to grips with how the plane is started and all that. So I thought today I'd just go ahead and make a quick flight over Papua New Guinea and try out how this thing works properly. We're going to do a complete startup with the checklist that is being provided by the developers, and then I guess we'll see how this thing really works in a bush environment. So, since this is uh, a 2024 plane, it was specifically designed or converted from an older version of the Britten-Norman Islander. This is a version that has been created for 2024. So there are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind if you are a 2020 lover. First of all, you're going to have to walk around the plane and remove all kinds of covers. So we're going to do that. There's the engine cover. There's the pitot heat cover, and then there is some kind of block here. So the ailerons and the elevators don't move involuntarily. And as you can see, there are still a couple of bugs that need to be ironed out. For example, my tail number here is flickering a little bit. Not that bad. I don't care because most of the time I'm inside the cockpit, but still something that needs to be fixed. And something else that we need to remove is the chocks. So there we go. We can go ahead and open the cabin door and just sit down on the pilot. See, actually we can walk around the plane and see what you can open up and whatnot. There's this nice little glass bubble here where you can look outside and actually look down to the ground, which is nice. So this is the this plane is actually used for, what's it called, skydiving. So the obviously it's nice to have this kind of door that you can open during flight and close it during flight as well, other than some of the doors that you need to push that is opening at an angle, but this one doesn't. So there's another entry into the cargo compartment. So far so good. Let's take a look at the other side. Something else that I might be missing here? Probably not. So the cargo compartment is only accessible from one side. But here's another entry exit for the passengers. So this looks pretty nice. It's a good model, I guess. So let's take a seat. Close the doors. How am I closing the doors from? Oh, how about that? Go ahead. Can I close the doors, please? From doesn't let me close the doors. For crying out loud. So let's do it like this. So let's see. We have removed all the things that block the that book are, you know what I mean? So let's put that away. And we're going to go through the checklist for a quick startup. First of all, we did remove the engine covers. We're going to set the fuel tanks. These are the switches for the fuel tanks. We're supposed to put both of these forward. Then starboard select. By the way, just to let you guys know, there is no Ctrl+E. You cannot start this plane. From my experience, you cannot start this plane automatically because there are a couple of things that you need to do extra. And so far, I haven't been able to do it properly with an automatic start because the engine's going to die down. I don't know why this is happening. I don't care because I'm doing, as you know from my Kodiak adventures, I like to start my plane manually from scratch. Starboard selector green to right tank. Yeah, we did that. Set the starboard engine auxiliary fuel pump to on and check that the fuel pressure is in the green band. For that, we might want to activate avionics master and put on the electric stuff, because otherwise we're not going to get any indication. Oh yes, maybe, I don't know. Where is we've got a couple of steam gauges, by the way, which is nice. Check that the fuel pressure is in the green band. I'm flying the version, the Islander version with the glass cockpit elements, so fuel pressure, all pressure, it's all down still. So let's activate the left fuel pump. Here we go. As you can see, the fuel pressure on the left engine is up. Open the starboard throttle to approximately 25%. So, I think I forgot something. Because usually I am flying planes that only have one engine. But the Islander has two engines. So what I need to do is I have my Bravo throttle quadrant. I need to configure the power management stuff here. Mixture, one axis. Where is it? Increase mixture, I don't care. Where's my mixture axes? Oh, there we go. I should select the right thing here. Mixture axis 1. No, that is the throttle axis, for crying out loud. This is the mixture axis. Yeah, and we can delete that one. And the mixture axis on number 2 is this one. Yep, that's good. I hope. Okay, prop. We're gonna delete this. Prop axis number 1. Here we go. Where's my prop axis number 2? That one. Great. So now we're missing the throttle axes. That is not what we need. Throttle 1 axes, here we go. And throttle 2 axes, here we go. I hope this is going to work as intended. We'll see. Go back, save, and continue. Let's see, take a look at the cockpit here. Let's see if this works. Oh, I need to reverse. Oh, for crap. Dude, I don't know what they were thinking. So let's go to controls and Bravo throttle quadrant and reverse the axes. Where's the power management? There we go. Mixture. And then let's see. Set invert axes. Go back. Set inverted axes. And let's do that with the other ones as well. Set, no, stop. Set inverted axes. And another inverted axis. And let's go back. No, I forgot some. This is also something I'm not going to ever understand, why it takes so damn long to load the configuration menu. Set inverted axes. Here we go. Set inverted axes. Can we go and fly now, please? Let's see if it works. Yep, they work independently of each other. That's nice. I could actually, I think, feather, because I can, I could use the feather switch here. Settings, one last adjustment before we really go fly. That's the prop axes. Where is the feather switch? Toggle feather switch 1. I guess. I hope. Nope, that doesn't work. Why does it not work? Prop pitch low. No. What is that? I seriously don't know, but we're gonna play without the feather stuff for now. We'll figure we'll figure it out at a later time. So 25% on the left throttle. Oh yeah, I wanted to. No, wait a minute. Starboard is on the right side. Such a noob. There we go. Select the starboard left magneto switch to on. Wait a minute. Starboard is starboard to the left or is it to the right? Let's ask someone who should know. Is starboard left or right? Starboard is the right side. I did remember correctly. But what the hell? Why does it say the left side? Doesn't it make any sense? We're gonna do it right. Port mags, stunt starboard mags. So there we go. What do I need to do here? Oh, that's one of the things that are a bit problematic if you have the alpha yoke has the single ignition switch where you can switch between the different settings, but only if I go to the right side the ignition actually starts. So okay, starboard generator, everything else is not necessary. Let's see. Why does it not start up? Oh, I should maybe introduce the fuel. And we're supposed to pump the throttle lever a couple of times. Low vacuum, no pressure. What am I missing? fuel pump, right? Maybe that. Huh. Well, you know what? Because we only have the ability to really start one engine, we're going to do both at the same time. I mean, this is not totally realistic, but considering my limited setup here, we're just going to do it both for both engines at the same time. So I know it's not perfect, but both fuel pumps are on. Engine's on. Okay. We've got both engines on. That's nice. And the next things that we can do are, we're gonna set what the heck? We're gonna set the trim to takeoff. As you can see, here is there is the trim indicator, and what we're gonna have to do is set the trim for takeoff here. There we go, a couple of revolutions. And what else? Barometer setting, altimeter setting, good to go. Then we don't bother with the autopilot for now, doesn't really matter. What else? After start checks, all auxiliary fuel pumps both off. There we go. Generators. We don't have any indication that the generators are undervolted. That looks good. What else? Check indicator. Yep. Switch bat to confirm. Switch to bat and confirm charge. Needle in green band. Where is my charge? Blah. Do we have a battery indicator somewhere? Oh, there we go. What is this? Panel lights, okay. Battery. Switch to bat and confirm. Turn off the, oh yeah, the amps are up, the volts are good. That's nice. I need to make a checklist for myself at one point. So fuel pressures. Fuel pressure is okay. All pressure is low, but seems to be working. Cabin heater, we don't need that. Radios, we don't need that. Ice protection. Let's take a look. 15 degrees, not yet. So we're going to skip the magneto tests. Set the throttles, feathering check. No, we're going to skip that. Taxiing the aircraft, pre-takeoff, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that. Okay, best climb gradient can be held at approximately 95 knots, but more comfortable speed would be 100 and 110. Autopilot, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I am interested in seeing what the RPM should be for takeoff and climb. 2,500 right now. We are low at 400, of course, but 2,500 we're supposed to be at, and 25 on the manifold pressure scale. 25, okay. Flying in the cruise. In the cruise, we're supposed to have 100 to 230 knots. 2,300 RPM. Manifold to 23. Okay, that's good enough. And lean the fuel mixture for best power and economy. Yep. Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to bother with, oh, we've got lift generator, low volts. Oh, okay. Huh. We'll hope for the best, really. Let's go ahead and see if we can work this plane properly. I have released the parking brakes. Let's zoom out a little here. Okay, the brakes are nice. Let's take a look at the flap settings. This thing has two settings for the flaps, one for takeoff and that one for landing. Just two possible sets. Hello there, Callum. How do you do? Okay, we're going to set for takeoff. And then let's see. I'm just going to take, I think this is runway. I cannot possibly complain. As you can see, I'm trying out a new plane here that I bought a couple of days ago for from Blackbox Simulations, the Brit-Norman Islander, and I'm just trying this thing out. I have no idea how it works properly yet, but I'll give it my best. We're on Papua New Guinea right now, because that is my currently that is my, yes, it's 24 exactly. It's my preferred area of operations currently. And this version of the Islander is was created for 2024. It's a conversion, really, because the developers have originally they had created one version for the 2020, but then obviously 2024 came along, and then these guys had to upgrade. A flight simulator, I mean, it depends on whether you like flight simulators, really. But from my perspective as someone who likes aviation, yes, it's good. It's far from perfect. It's buggy. It's got a lot of issues, but for the things that I like to do, it works quite well. So let's see. Make a takeoff. At airspeeds alive, we're at 40 knots already. This thing really accelerates quite nicely. 50, 60. I think this is pretty nicely suited for short takeoff and landing situations. So for the climb, we're supposed to reduce the RPM to 2,500, something like that. Okay, let's make a left turn. I think we can raise the flaps. It's just a short hop, like 30-something nautical miles, just to figure out how this thing works, because I haven't had the opportunity to try it out. Yeah, I know they kind of create all kinds of things in Roblox. My daughter plays it quite a lot, and sometimes she's like 8 years old, so I need to keep an eye on what she's actually picking, what kind of games she's picking on the platform, but there are a couple of really nice things in Roblox, but also a lot of let's say a lot of things that I don't want my daughter to be able to take a look at. Yeah, and flight games are not everybody's cup of tea. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to his or her fetish. I've got the fetish for aviation. What does ATC mean? Oh, air traffic control. I get it. What kind of stupid question? In this game, Project Flight. So this is it's one of the games inside Roblox, right? That way you can do stuff. And you're doing ATC, which are they trying to? Are they really trying to simulate? I don't know, an airport or something. I mean, an airport with surroundings and people who fly. Okay, so but they basically what I mean, what did they do inside this particular world? Did they create airports and then you can fly from one airport to the other? Are there any kind of missions or things that you can do? It's interesting. I need to tell my daughter. I want her to become a pilot as well. What? What is the what is the target audience? Is it for younger people or is it for adults or what's happening? Okay, I see. A role-playing game. Okay. So are there different airplanes that you can choose from? Did they try to replicate something from the real world, or is it more like, I don't know, fantasy planes? Okay. So is there a, can they actually put in a let's say something like their own physics model? I mean, obviously Roblox does need to have a little bit of a physics simulation for because otherwise most of the things would not work, but that's pretty cool that they're trying to create a flight sim inside Roblox. Maybe I should be activating autopilot. I guess it is. I'll take a look at it. Does the game have a particular name? Project Flight Simulator. Okay, I'm gonna note that down. I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm not so sure about the fact that you need to pay. Do you need to pay these Robux just to get into the game, or is it something that you well, you need to pay something inside the game? Is it pay to win or something? Okay, so it's a one-time payment. That I can live with. So, what is the fuel consumption? Do I have an indicator for fuel consumption? That would be nice. Let's see. Because I don't want to use more fuel than utterly... Oh, there we go. 9.8 gallons per hour. Let's take a look. $11 gallons per hour per engine would be an acceptable value. So we're way below that. That's nice. Okay, I see. Well, obviously, people who created the game want to earn some money with it, which is fine. Unless you're being scammed into something that you don't want to, but I'll take a look at it. Sometimes Roblox feels a bit like, I don't know if you know that, but there was I think it still exists, but there was a platform which was called Second Life, and Second Life also had the where you could create your own worlds and build stuff and create planes and cars and whatnot. It wasn't very realistic because the physics engines was completely... usually the servers were overloaded and people did all kinds of trash, but it was a similar concept. I'm heading to a little airport somewhere here in the bush of Papua New Guinea. The only thing that I want to do right now is there we go. The airport is right up ahead. So try to find out whether how this plane handles in circumstances where you have very short airfield and where you need to make quick landings. So I think this is the airport right there. We'll see how this works out. I'm going to make a close flyby. Yeah, the co-pilot, don't get me started on that. I really don't like co-pilots in my plane. I haven't really yet figured out how this whole thing works, so maybe we can get rid of them. Let's see, aircraft, mass and balance. Maybe I can kick him out of the plane. The co-pilot, let's get rid of the co-pilot. Maybe he's gone then. Yeah, he's gone. Cool, excellent. Because then I have a better view I really don't like co-pilots inside the simulator here, because they're stupid. They don't really help a lot. They're just taking up space. So this is the little airfield that we're supposed to land on. Looks interesting. Yes, they are useless. That is so very true. Okay, let's slow down and lower the flaps. And then we're going to fly them around this hill and try to find a good angle to land at the airfield. Flaps are down. It's a little bit hazy. Okay, let's see. Where is the airfield? Should be it. So let's reduce the speed even further. And lower the flaps fully. That might be a bit challenging. You can see the slope here. This runway is slope, which means that you're going to have to do a little bit of a different approach. You're going to have to match the slope, so you're going to do basically a dive, and then you're going to have to fly uphill, and so you don't crash onto the runway senselessly. Turn to final. Let's try to slow down even further, which is difficult. Not pointing down the nose so much. Yeah, I love to press buttons as well. So as you can see, so let's bring her up, bring her down, touch this thing down. Here we go. It's a bit weird, really, this airfield here, because as you can see, this is I don't know, this is the emergency. The emergency stop here. If you need the runway fully to the full extent, then you're gonna have an extra way to brake. Yeah, but so this did work. The Islander is quite nice when it comes to short takeoff and landing. It's difficult to turn, really. Oh, the engine is out. What the heck? I lost my right engine. What the heck? What did I do wrong? This is not funny. Right fuel pump. Turn it on. Did I cut off the fuel? That might have happened, actually. Because there is a... go. Turn off the fuel pumps again. Yeah, you go ahead and laugh all you want, fuzzball. So, Let's see. Let's put in some takeoff trim here. And get this thing in the air again, huh? Takeoff trim. Yep, I do like it so far. Not a bad bird. And the inside looks nice. I have Portland cement. What's funny is I am flying a plane that is supposedly coming from Germany, Air Hamburg, but I am carrying Portland cement. What the heck? Anyway. Funny. No, that's not the career mode. The career mode is so bugged. I'm not ever gonna use it unless they put in a whole lot of effort, because this is ridiculous. No, this is free flight, and that's the only thing I'm currently doing inside the simulator. It's the only thing that works halfway decently. Okay, 50, 60, rotate. This thing can climb like a monkey. Look at that. This is awesome. Obviously, with two engines, it's a lot easier. But it's also burning a whole lot of fuel. Yep, so that is the Britten-Norman Islander. I like it so far. What I really want to know is I'm going to activate the autopilot for now. Done. Let's kill the flight plan. And I just want to fly heading. Where's my heading bug? There we go. To an altitude of 11, that's good enough. Vertical speed, that's also good enough. Let's activate the autopilot for a second here. In free plane mode, can you use any plane like Airbuses? Oh yes, I can use every single plane that the simulator has, but I really don't like the big ones. That's not my kind of, I don't like to fly computers, basically. I like to fly manually a lot, and low and slow. I'm not the jet kind of guy. So what did I want to take a look at? Let me remember. Oh yeah, whether the EFB actually works. Because in planes that were created for Flight Simulator 2020, you have the problem that this particular tool here, the electronic flight book, doesn't work properly most of the time. So obviously the co-pilot stuff works. That's nice. We do have payload on board, as you can see. Let's take that away and see what happens. It's still there. Okay. But I guess because the plane is pretty light now, the cargo was removed, but the model of the plane still shows some cargo. So I can edit the amount of fuel here, and what I really want to know is whether the flight planner works. VFR, this is all good, dandy. Yeah, that's all right. I want, oh, max 0 passengers. Why? Maybe because I'm flying the cargo version. Total fuel. Blah, blah, blah. Well, let's see. Okay. What we could do, what I'm going to do really, is do some missions for the bush diving community. You're not an aviation sim guy, so you probably don't know, but there are so-called virtual airlines, and one of the airlines that I like to fly for currently is the BushDivers VA. And we're going to take a look at my aircraft here. I have not so much money currently, $147,000, but if I want to buy a plane like the Brit Norman Islander, I'm going to have to dish out at least $380,000. That is quite a lot of money, and I cannot afford this plane currently. But what I can do is find contracts. And last time I was seen at Alpha Yankee Echo Bravo, so what kind of planes do they have available at that airport? Like dispatch. Only the Kodiak. That's boring. No, what this really is, yeah, it's kind of a, it's how can I explain? Yes, basically you have a virtual airline which is run using a website or a web application where you can record your flights, and there's some kind of advancement system behind all of this, and you can do some missions. Basically, you can find contracts and fly from A to B, and then you get money, and then you can buy other aircraft if you have enough money, and otherwise you're just going to use the aircraft that are being provided by the company. And you know, it's just basically a means to kill time. But the BushDivers club here, they also do live multiplayer flights. So sometimes it happens that we gather and fly together in the simulator environment, and you can see groups of people, like 20, 30 people, flying together. All kinds of bush flying stuff. It's fun. It's really fun. So what do I want to do? I don't want to fly the Kodiak today. I want to rent a Brit Norman Islander. I gotta go to an airport that is bigger. BushDivers HQ. Because these guys, as you can see, they have a couple of Islanders available, and one of them is, for example, it's currently at Morrow. No, it's not at Morrow. What is this? That is quite a long way away from where I am. Oh, you know, I won't keep you. If you think this is a good idea, a good way to spend your time, I mean, this is fun, but it's only fun for people who like to fly planes. So. Oh, by the way, the Roblox the Roblox world, is it only for general aviation and peaceful aviation, or is there something like I don't know, World War II combat stuff going on, or World War III? I don't know what kind of planes they have available in that world, but if it's all about fighting, then I probably would not put my daughter onto that game. Oh, there's an airport down there. I could go ahead and land. It's always nice to land. And after we've landed, I'm going to figure out where I am going to fly next. I should reduce the speed here. I think this is, yeah, this is Goroka. This is the airport that we came from. Okay, so basically it's all about real commercial aviation. I get it. Okay, that's nice. So you can earn money, I guess, or is there some kind of rank system, or where you can, I don't know, earn credits, stuff like that, or Robux? Okay, I see, I get it. So is it not going to get boring after a while if there is no goal that you can pursue? I mean, most people still like it if they have anything that they can, any goals that they can reach. Dude, I really like the Islander here. This is an awesome plane. It's a little bit more complex because of the fact that you have two engines that you need to manage, but still, it flies like a dream. Okay, so you're basically, I mean, if you enjoy that kind of action inside something like Roblox, I think I would suggest that you're probably gonna love Flight Simulator, because this is just, I mean, this is it's a little bit more complex, but I guess that the graphics, the visuals are quite a bit more advanced and nice, because you can see the real world here. This is not a fake, but this is, they really use satellite images from Bing Maps here. Well, if you have an Xbox, that's probably the easiest way to go about it. It works. I know that people are using Xbox, and they're quite, even some of the BushDivers guys here that I fly with, they are using the Xbox. It's not my, I don't have an Xbox, so I'm playing on PC. But there are a couple of things that do not work on the Xbox. I don't really know exactly what it is, but I would suggest that Microsoft, considering the fact that Xbox is a Microsoft console, they are going to support this quite nicely. So that's what I would do if I was in their shoes. Yep. Excellent plane. Excellent plane. I like it. So, turn it off. I am from Earth, planet Earth. No, I'm from Germany. So let's take a look. I probably will have to rent. Oh, dude. Okay, I'm gonna do a jump seat here and fly to Mount Hagen. That's a little bit of cheating. There's nothing I can do. My aircraft. So where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. $1,000 per hour. It's not cheaper than a. From Wales, okay. I always wanted to go to Wales. I sure do, but most of the time we end up in Scandinavia if we're going on holidays. All right. Actually, the deal is not. This is not as good a deal as the Kodiak, really. Less cargo, same amount of passengers, less range. I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but we're going to do it anyway. So, I don't know. This is so I had unfortunately they're not living anymore, but I had relatives in the United States. I've been a couple of times to the US in my life. I talk to a lot of people that I'm talking to a lot of people that speak English, so I don't know. It's just something that worked out over time. $1,000, yeah, that's good enough. Let's take a look at the contracts. Let's take a look at the contracts. Mount Hagen. 14 documentary makers. Do you happen, probably since you're not into aviation that much, but you might, just some people know about the missionary bush pilot. That's a guy who is flying on Papua New Guinea as well. And a guy has a YouTube channel, and he's posting all kinds of videos from his aviation adventures on PNG, and he always needs to ferry locals, native people from PNG and all kinds of other stuff. So I think that when they created this virtual airline, they kind of leaned onto the stories from from the missionary bush pilot. It's actually fun to watch if you're interested in aviation or in bush flying in general, and would like to know how to operate a plane like the Kodiak. Then watching this guy's video, he's actually a really good presenter. He's fluid. He's able to do some proper storytelling while he's flying, which is amazing considering how much I don't know. There's only so much a human can take in and take care of during flying, because there at some point you're going to have a huge mental workload. And that guy doesn't care. He just talks and talks and is able to explain all kinds of stuff. It's fun to watch, really. And then he also he's also telling stories about the locals, what they do, the schools. And the only thing that I do not agree with is his way of, they're flying for a missionary, I'm not sure how I should call it, but a company that is called Ethnos 360, and they're doing missionary work, which means they're trying to bring the gospel to the people on PNG, to the tribes on PNG. And I'm not the kind of guy who likes to force religion onto other people. I'm not a religious guy myself. So the way they sometimes try to force the gospel onto people that are supposedly not educated, that's not something that I like to support. But his adventures are cool, and the way he flies are cool, and I like to watch them anyway. So let's get the show on the road again. 27 nautical miles. That's not a whole lot. That's going to be easy money. Let's go ahead. Flight dispatch. We also need a special tool like this one here. Okay, this is my rented Britten Norman Islander, and this is my little contract. I'm gonna have to split it because I cannot accommodate 14 people in my plane, just 9 of them. And I could go ahead and share the rest of the contract so somebody else is going to be able to pick it up and make some money. The destination will be, what was the destination? Alpha Yankee. Whiskey Delta set. We're going to have to pick up some fuel. Oh, it's expensive, $4. Oh no, holy crap. The last time that I was flying on PNG, I was using the Kodiak. And that plane is a turboprop and it's using jet fuel. But this one here uses AV gas. That's a different... how much fuel can it take? Because I don't want to fly with full fuel, because that makes us heavier than necessary, considering the short hub that we're going to do. How much fuel can it take? I don't know. Let's add some. Good question. Let's add some 40 gallons or something. Oh, no, there we go. 123 gallons is what I can take on. Let's take about 50%. I have to think about everything, basically. I need to take care of the fact that if I'm taking on too many passengers or too much cargo, then my plane is too heavy, then I'm not going to be able to take off some of the bush fields, the bush airfields, because they're too short, or the ground that they have rough surface and all that kind of stuff. So you really need to make sure that at least the main things really check out. Select a flight type. It's a standard flight. There we go. Then I can pick it up from the dispatch system. There we go. Incorrect location. Yeah, I know. We're going to go to Mount Hagen here. This is it. Oh, we have IFR conditions. That's not good. IFR means, I don't know if you know that, but IFR means instrument flying conditions. Oh, it's because it was in the middle of the night. So, and the destination is Alpha Yankee Whiskey Delta. Yankee Whiskey Delta. There we go. Mount Hagen to Wapanamanda. Wapanamanda. Whatever. 35 miles. Flight conditions. We want real weather. Live weather is active. Okay. That's good. Let's see. Oh, dude. We have IFR conditions on both accounts. We'll see. Sometimes it still works out. Because IFR is not a good... IFR conditions are not a good idea if you do not have a system that on the airport that you want to land on that has IFR. And these bush fields do not have IFR whatsoever. Yeah, I am hoping for the best. I am not shying away from IFR challenges. Ready to fly. So let's go ahead and figure out if I have learned something in the maiden flight. Put that away. Put that away. There's something else. All these little items here. This really annoys me because this is easy to fix. I mean, this is version 1.0 of the plane, but this, they really need to fix this. The flickering labels here. Okay, let's see if I can turn this on without using the checklist. I mean, you should always use checklists, obviously, but I like to know how to start up the plane from the top of my head. There we go. Introduce the fuel. 25% for both of the engines, because we're going to start both of them at the same time, because it doesn't work any other way, unfortunately. At least not in the sim. Let's see. Oh, it looks good. Yeah, we're going to get rid of this guy pretty soon, because we're going to have, I will have to, put in the amount of cargo and fuel that we have, so we're not going to get punished here. As you can see, we're supposed to have 60 gallons. That is what was planned for the flight. We've done that, but we're supposed to have 1,530 pounds of cargo. So to not cheat here, we're going to add some passengers. Wait a second. We've got the wrong version of the plane. Doesn't matter. We're going to put in some 1530 payload. Did it work now? Oh, there's the co-pilot. Let's get rid of this guy. And the cargo. 240. Right. No, 300. What the heck? I am not able to do some math here. Simple math. 330 pounds. That's what we're supposed to have. Okay, load an aircraft. Fuel is good. That's good enough. And then we're going to have to adjust the center of gravity. Let's take a look. This is something that I don't really know yet. What kind of center of gravity do we need to have? Blah, blah, blah. Center. There is a checklist. Center of, or maybe what are the limits, for crying out loud? I need to know. 22 and 17 and 25, so we're supposed to be at 22 somewhere. Okay, I guess we can do that. What that basically means, me? I'm not good with Airbuses. I don't really know anything about that. I've flown with Airbuses as a passenger, but not. I don't know a thing about them. Okay. So we did that. Okay, let's put in, we did put in the flight plan already. Configure the autopilot real quick. Let's go to like 10,000. Actually, we're gonna fly manually. We don't need the autopilot because this is just a very short hop. Let's see. I'm not gonna bother with the ATC today. This is a little bit of cheating, but I really would like to get to know the plane before I start to do some ATC stuff here. Yeah, no, it's not an eye tracker. It's something you can see the. I'm going to show you here. That these little, this little element here, which has 3 reflectors, and it's called Track RR. There is an infrared camera, and it is tracking these 3 dots here, and it's basically able to determine the position of the head in the 3-dimensional space. So this is how it works, and it works quite nicely. So it's not tracking the eyes, but it's tracking my entire head. And that really is the only way for me to fly, because otherwise I'd just be annoyed to hell and back if I'd have to use switches to change my view all the time. No, it's not fancier, it's cheaper. The Track IR system is cheaper than there's I think there's another system which is called oh, something is wrong here. Something is, oh, there we go. What was that? Okay, I think there's another system which is called an actual eye tracker, which is called the Tobii eye tracker. Oh, I forgot the takeoff trim, for crying out loud. That's not a good idea. For some reason it doesn't work. We're gonna do without. Oh no, we're not gonna do without. Come on, baby. Trim your nose up. There we go. This is why you're supposed to use checklists, because you're gonna fuck up. As I was saying, there's an eye tracking system out there. It's called Tobii Eye Tracker, and it's more expensive and less. From my experience, eye trackers are jittery. They didn't work for me very well. But I know people who like them, who like the fact that they don't need to turn their head to look around, just their eyes. So I'm not sure how the eye trackers really work, but it's not what I'm using. So let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit different trying to fly a plane with two engines. Yeah, I guess there are very expensive systems out there who work quite nicely. I don't have the money for that. I'm already spending way more money than I'm supposed to, according to my wife, so I need to keep the expenses down a little. That's another little bug here. The cone here, it's flickering. That's a texture problem, really. I guess they're gonna fix it eventually. Sure, you're gonna have fun, because I'm earning my own money. You know, my wife is earning her own money. She can do whatever she wants with it. I'm gonna spend at least a little bit of money on flight sim equipment. It's one of my hobbies that I like very much. And it's way cheaper than, say, trying to fly in the real world with a private pilot's license. I used to be a glider pilot when I was a lot younger. Unfortunately, my eyesight and for various reasons, one of them being my eyesight, I stopped doing it, real world flying, and I switched to simulators. It's not the same, but it's good enough for your occasional virtual recreation. Now the question is, where is this airport? Is it behind the ridge or in front of it? Now we're gonna have to fly we're gonna have to fly beyond that ridge and then drop back down to Earth, I guess. Yeah, it looks like that. I really do like unfortunately the Islander does not have radar. That's one of the things that I like about the Kodiak. Then you can basically make out the weather up ahead. If you have a radar on board, you can see if there are thunderstorms or lots of heavy rain and stuff like that. The Islander cannot do that, unfortunately. It doesn't have radar. But you can still see where you're supposed to go. And it's inside a little valley here. So we're gonna have to figure out how to land there. Yeah, there are quite a lot of people on this planet who have not the most ideal eyesight. Yes, you can, of course, but it's so utterly stupid and unnatural. The voices alone are driving me crazy. I'm going to activate it for you for a minute so you see what you can experience what I'm talking about, because it sucks, really. Controls, no, accessibility, something like that. Auto rudder, sure. Let's go ahead and try if it works. So there is the ATC panel. Communication. We're gonna tune to Port Moresby. Make sure the window is visible. Tune to Port Moresby, and then request flight following.
Port Moresby Center. DFD India Mike Sierra 9er 810 is Type Britain Norman Islander, 13 miles northwest of Mount Hagen, 12,700 feet. Request flight following. DFD India Mike Sierra 9er 810, Port Moresby Center, Squawk 5277. Squawk 5277. DFD India Mike Sierra 9er 810. DFD India Mike Sierra 9er 810. Radar contact 2 miles south of Alpha Yankee Lima Foxtrot, 13,200 feet. QNH 1021.
You know, this is not.
DFD India Mike Sierra 9er 810.
It sounds so utterly unnatural. I just don't like that. We're gonna turn it off. You get the idea. You can do ATC, but it's not really. Yeah, it's a bit computer-like. You know, it reminds me of Dr. Spitzo back in the day. But the problem really is what it doesn't add any immersion for me. I like to do real ATC. I like to talk to. There is actually an interesting system out there. It's called. I don't have a shortcut here. Say intentions. That's a little bit more interesting. It is artificial, and it's an actual, really artificial intelligence based system, and come on, connect. It really, you can talk to it, which is fun, and you're gonna have to do do real real aviation phraseology, otherwise it's not going to understand what you're doing. A new flight, there we go. You've heard of it, okay. Well, there in the background there are all kinds of different systems running and connected to each other. For example, a voice a speech to text system and a text to speech system, and then there is a large language model in the background that is trying to create the answers that you need, and it's connecting to all kinds of databases, I guess, and I don't know the innards entirely, but it's an interesting concept. It works quite well. And then you have, I don't know, tour guides that you can talk to, and a co-pilot and a mentor, whatever. There's all kinds of interesting things here. And you really, if you want to, it understands what you're saying, and you can do real ATC most of the time. It's not perfect, but it works quite well. It's a lot more fun for me than this stupid AI, so-called AI system from Microsoft. So we're above the airport. I was talking so much I missed the fact that we should be approaching the airport. Let's take a look down. There it is. pull back on the throttle. Yeah, it would be my pleasure. Let me add you here. If you're doing streaming yourself, I'm gonna take a look at your channel. See you. Have a good time. Okay, let's see. Let's zoom in a little. Where is the airport? It's hard to see, really. Where is it? There it is. I could go ahead and launch little nav map here and take a look at what runway we're supposed to be landing on because of the weather conditions. Flight Simulator said that we'd have IFR conditions. I would not agree. These are not IFR conditions. So that's Wapanamanda, and the conditions are like that we're supposed to land on runway 14. That's the other one. That's where we're gonna approach from this side here. Yeah, I do like the Islander. It's a nice plane. It really is. The Blackbox, I mean, it's bugged still, obviously. A couple of cosmetic stuff. Like the flickering tail number. But I guess they're going to fix it eventually. Okay, let's go ahead and lower the flaps. What I really like about the Islander is the fact that it's got such a ridiculously awesome vertical speed capability, despite the fact that it only has piston engines, but having two engines really makes the difference here. Full flaps. And it is utterly stable in the air. It's a lot more stable than the Kodiak. I'm not sure why. Maybe the weather conditions are pretty good, but I really love the Kodiak. It's an awesome plane, but somehow I think I'm falling in love with the Islander. I've been flying the Kodiak for months now, and really trying to master it as best as possible, as best as you can do it inside a simulator like this. But the Islander is pretty nifty. Okay. I'm not so sure about the braking capability of this plane. The brakes are not very strong. I'm not sure how this is going to work out on short fields. There's somebody waiting for us right there. Okay, cut off the engine. Quick here. Put in the parking brake. Let's see if this worked. Yes, it did. Submit the PRIP. Let's take a look at the logbook. We did get our money. Let's see how I did on landing. I think it was pretty good. Yep. Awesome landing rate, the best possible outcome. We only used 7 gallons of fuel. The duration was like that. Oh, so that was good, I guess. Okie dokie. So that was it for today. Just a little exploration of the Islander. Maybe I'm gonna do another flight here without streaming, but I wanted to give you a first impression of how this thing works and how well it flies. In subsequent videos, I'm probably going to get into a little bit more detail than just doing a short hop, but it's nice. It's a nice plane. It's got its quirks, obviously, but we'll see. So take care, people, and have a good time. I'll see you pretty soon, I guess. Bye.